I can't think. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Yeah. I can't. What am I supposed to do?
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Bill and I am unwell. I have been unwell this week and I just want to apologize. Thanks for putting up with me, always. I just got to put my jumper on. I was like one sleeve in, one sleeve out, always how it is. Hope everybody has had a good week. That full moon, whoa. If you're an empath, hope you got through it better than I did. It fucking wiped me out. But here we are. Last minute change of the video as well. I did have a different thumbnail up. We were going to do something else, but then my mind clicked last minute and we're going to focus on screen time. I think this will be my new, I want to do a few videos on this topic. So yeah, tonight's, and yeah, I apologize. I'm still not 100%. So if my voice sounds a bit weird, that's why. But hi, everyone in the chat. Hey, Vendor and Goose. How you guys going? I keep forgetting it's nighttime too, Goose. Okay. So yeah, tonight's video, we are going to watch Without a Crystal Ball video. I've shared the link in the description below. It's from December 10 or December 9, because I'm one day ahead, 2020. And it's the video where she's telling us how V went on a shopping spree, on his fucking iPad. She goes through how she linked up everything. So we'll just get into it. Hang on 1 second. I need to have a big drink and a breathe. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm having a little bit of it's been such a long time since I've been on here. Okay, but yeah, as always, everything I say is always my own opinion. And I could have done a better job on the video I put out last night, but fuck it's yeah, that's why I wasn't able to make any videos this week, because my feels were so intense. And then, of course, I had that video. I was going to add more to it. There's nothing really, that's kind of like the video really says it all. You don't really need to add anything. But yeah, I hope the people that saw that video looked in the description or in the pinned comment, because yeah, you really need to know more about the dogs to really understand. And yeah, every time I'm just reminded, every time with V and the dogs and the animals, I'm just so reminded of the fucked up situation. And here I am, like, trying to distance myself from Katie, because the present day Katie fucks with me and I can't have her affecting my mental health, because it means way too much. Like, I'm on a better path now and I'm doing stuff like outside my house. So yeah, I think the DV stuff got to me more than I thought, and then followed with what she, pardon me, did to Sassy. That kind of stuff just makes me not want to be involved with this fucking bitch. But I've got a video coming up on that as well. It's just I haven't been able to record because I haven't had a voice or energy. But yeah. Let's get into it, guys, and then we can talk as we go. I've skipped through her intro. So if you've just joined, this is obviously I've downloaded her video. Oh no, have I? No, I don't think I have. Just shut up, Bill. Oh my God, I have to press play. This is the scary part.
Hey guys, it's Katie. I'm a mom, I'm a worker, I'm a multitasker, and sometimes I do things and I'm not totally paying attention. Yes, it's true, especially when I'm working and trying to mom at the same time. Now, my husband and I have this really great, almost amazing way of taking care of things around the house. My husband generally is the one that manages the house right now because he has been laid off, and as well as taking care of issues with my son's iPad, apps, all of that good stuff. So imagine my surprise when I was live streaming one day and suddenly my son walks into my room and he's like, "Mommy, can you help me download this app?" And I was like, "Sure." And I put the app on his iPad and he walked away because my husband had told me that the app was approved and he could use it, right? It was like a kid's app. I was like, no big deal, no thing, right? Last night,
Sorry, I didn't want it cut in, but wouldn't she just double check herself? Like, even if your husband says that it's all right, wouldn't you make sure that what you're doing, you're there looking at it, you're about to approve it for your son? Are you just not even fucking present? Are you just click, 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 get away because you're interrupting me on a live? This fucking iPad is... Yeah, V has been screen fed since 8 months old, 6 to 8 months old, in my opinion, from what I've gathered, from what I've read, from what I've seen. And after this stream, after this video, I'm going to take you to my Twitter and I'm going to show you a picture. I put together a fucking collage, just a small sample of V being screen fed. And it's fucking disgusting. So, go away, emotions. Please just let me be a normal person without my heart getting involved. V, the stuff with V, just, oh my God. I battle with my morals. But if someone doesn't say anything. Anyway, let's go back to this one saying stuff.
My son was playing a game and suddenly my husband looks over and my son is pressing to buy a button and he has his little finger on his touchpad. We had set up his new iPad with the touchpad finger. And I was not assuming that my son would be able to put it together, that if it asks for him to put his finger on it, that he would know that that's how to pay. And suddenly all I looked as there were 87 transactions of payment for his games, silly games, gardening games, a Minecraft game, a game for playing Bubble Blast, of payment for his.
So they thought that their son was dumb. In my opinion, V is smarter than these two dumb fucking alcoholics. Look what he's buying. So he's buying like the 500 coins. So he's obviously in the one of, you know, we've all fucking been in those games. And you have to spend money to get extra stuff or move forward instead of waiting. He's got the 500 coins, 1,000 coins, the bundle, the great bundle. He's just like, once he knew that it could go through, he's having a fucking party. What kind of idiot wouldn't know that you put your finger there? I mean, he's got to put his finger there to unlock the fucking screen. She's so dumb. Not that that's any new information, but shit.
Games, silly games, gardening games, a Minecraft game, a game for playing Bubble Blast, almost $1,000 in game purchases over the span of 3 days. That's a lot of damage, a lot of damage. And I posted on my Twitter and my Instagram about this, and I noticed that a lot of you guys had the exact same experience. So I was thinking about it. Is this something that a lot of parents go through? Because when I posted on my Instagram that this was something that I had experienced, you all responded with so many of your own experiences. One person said, my 5-year-old experiences, something that I had experienced. You
So this is what Katie's tweet says. When you realize your child spent a ton on games because he became fixated. Oh, he became fixated, did he? What about hyper focus? What about fucking addicted? Because he became fixated? Oh my fucking God. The first and only time we've ever added games. Parenting fail. Touchpad payments removed. Password changed and app deleted. Insert child having a fucking meltdown because he'd had done all that work, the progress that money had brought him in the game. He was winning for the first time in his life. He didn't have to struggle. Oh man, I feel bad saying that. My voice is like, is my voice going to keep up with this? But yeah, I was just going to say 87 transactions. $1,000 spent, 87 transactions in 3 days. Is that a fucking unsupervised child on the iPad? Let's just give him the iPad so we can do what we want. You know, you finish off making the body of that guitar and I'll have a few wine bottles. Then we'll put him to bed, but he can't sleep because he's being fucking, you know, are they even using the blue screen filter? I've got fucking pictures of him when he's so addicted that his eyes are about to pop out of his head. And there's pictures of Katie and Toad taking the phone away. What a perfect moment to take a photo where he's screaming for the phone, reaching for it. And they're like holding it above his head like it's funny. Oh, man, this is fucking sick.
all responded with so many of your own experiences. One person said, my 5-year-old bought $150 worth of coins to play a game. We couldn't even get a refund. Ugh, they are so smart. And another person said, my nephew did that. The problem is the purchases are so neatly hidden within the game that the children don't even realize it is real money. They just assume it's game currency. Sometimes companies will refund if it's a large amount. So maybe that's what you can do. Another person said, relatable, Amazon is really good at refunding us now. Other people said, I'm surprised at how many stories I've heard of this exact same thing. Your story is the 4th one. My ex-boyfriend's nephew spent over $200 on Xbox. Another person said, my son spent $100 on V-Bucks for Fortnite. Yep, my niece did that too a couple years ago. I think she was 9 and now she's 13. She spent like $500. One said, I know a kid who spent $3,000 on mom's debit card to buy stuff on apps and games. Another person actually commended my son and said, sorry, I have to chuckle about this. Way to go, B. He was probably very proud and happy. I had to take the touch, pay off my own tablet because it was just too tempting. Another said, if it's an iPad, screen time. You can turn off Apple's store purchasing completely. My 5-year-old is too clever and for just a password. So this is something.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my mic off for that bit, so it might have been a bit echoey. I was going to say, do you think that they explained to V why it was wrong and that, like, where he might think that it's just money for the game? Because, you know, what game am I thinking of? Well, there's so many. But yeah, do you reckon they explained it to him at all? I don't think so. I don't think they're able to get on his level and really explain stuff. I think they don't have that kind of patience. Plus, they don't have that kind of brain system based on the patience. This is just all my opinion. Like I said in the beginning, like I always say, but yes. It's a perfect fucking pause with that one eye open. Do you reckon she's got product in her hair?
Something I had no idea about. No failure there. My son did the same when he was little. It's companies, they want it to happen so they don't make you aware of it. And, another person had their son spend over $900 in the middle of the night during the pandemic. So all of these apps, they have it so craftedly like perfect so that when you're playing a game, you have your game dollars and then you have the yellow ones where you can purchase extras to get, you can do extra things. You can only win so much money while you're playing the games, and then you need to have more if you want to keep playing. These apps are almost designed in a way that it encourages payment. And when you run out of stuff, I've noticed a lot of these apps actually have options where it says, you're out of life or you're out of money, purchase more. And the bundles are so easily hard for a child to differentiate. For instance, I was noticing on one, it said you could get a bundle for $99.99. My son, who doesn't really totally understand the concept of money, had no idea what he was pressing when he spent $100 on a bundle.
Katie, none of those other parents that were saying they had a similar story said that they linked their child's fingerprint to the Google account to the credit card. So your son might not have any sense of fucking money, but you as a parent should have a sense of fucking responsibility. Maybe I shouldn't use my kid's fingerprint because he's only young, since my credit card's linked to it and all. No, maths isn't really up there.
Repeatedly for days. So we had no idea, obviously, because it was going through our Apple Wallet, which was set up with his iPad. And I noticed that when he had previously broke his iPad, I had forgotten to put in the app payment, to turn off the payment function in the iPad. So on the older iPads, there was actually a tab right on the main screen where you actually could turn off in-app purchases, which had been turned off on his old iPad. A couple months ago, he actually broke his iPad, and so we had to buy him a new one, and I literally forgot to set it up. ScreenTime is a brand new thing on Apple, and it allows you to basically set up in-app purchases so that you turn off in-app purchases for your kids so it doesn't happen to you. So that's what I did today is I went into my Apple iPad, I turned off in-app purchases through the ScreenTime option, and I also filtered out some of the content that he's allowed to see on his iPad. But because I'm not the only one that's gone through this, and thank you guys so much for telling me about this, this has been an ongoing issue. For instance, in 2019, on February 6th, the New York Times actually wrote an article which said this: are children racking up charges from mobile games? Here's how to fight back. So this person's teenager spent $6,500 on Facebook games in over 2 weeks. And it says a teenager once spent $6,500 on a Facebook games over 2 weeks, according to a recent report by the Center for Investigative Reporting. Some Facebook employees internally refer to these children as whales, a term typically used by casinos to describe the highest rollers of the casino. The report follows actions by the Federal Trade Commission 5 years ago that required Apple and Google to issue millions of dollars in refunds to parents whose children made unauthorized in-app charges. And in 2017, the FTC made a similar agreement with Amazon. The issue here is that these games persuade children, the most vulnerable, to buy virtual goods using their parents' credit cards. So it makes it look like it's so easy. So who's actually responsible for these? I went ahead and So who's actually responsible for these? I was the most vulnerable to buy virtual goods using their parents' credit cards. So it makes it look like it's so easy. So who's actually responsible for these? I went ahead and requested a refund through.
You as a parent are responsible. Those apps, that's what their whole fucking purpose is, Katie. It's like when people come to you to get, news and stuff about Gabby Petito, and you've only got members only on. So to get in to talk to you, they would have to pay. That's how you make money. That's how these apps make money. Fucking shit. She's just so even this article says all these parents have gone through it.
Apple, hoping that they will actually give me back my money. I have no idea if we are going to be out this $1,000. It was so easy for my son to rack up that amount of debt. I have no idea what's going to happen, but some credit card companies will allow you to reverse it through unauthorized charges. There's also been past lawsuits about receiving refunds. So it says a CNBC report from August of 2020 says, if you receive a surprise bill for your child's unauthorized credit card purchases, you're not alone. It would be far from the first instance of kids making expensive purchases on their smartphones or tablets without their parents' authorization. In 2014, the Federal Trade Commission filed several lawsuits against major corporations, Apple, Amazon, and Google, that billed parents for millions of dollars of their kids' in-app game purchases that were made without consent. So the parents had cited that the companies had not provided any warning that purchases could be made without requiring a password every time. And then when they approved a one-time purchase or entered their password, they were not aware that they could continue to make purchases for like.
Do you reckon she would have got in contact with her bank and said any like Google purchase or game purchase, can you restrict those purchases from happening? Probably not. Like, I don't know what
like 15 to 30 minutes. So there was a lawsuit that was against Apple, Google, and Amazon. Amazon and Apple. So it says that the company received tens of thousands of complaints from parents from their kids' unauthorized in-app purchases. One spent $2,600 in in-app purchases on the Tap Pet Hotel game. As a part of the settlement, Apple was required to modify its billing practices by making sure to receive consumers' explicit consent for current and future in-app charges, and that the consent can be withdrawn at any time. And with Amazon, they also complained of the same thing. The FTC complaint was also said Amazon encouraged children to make purchases by blurring the lines between what purchases charged virtual currency versus real money. And that's a huge issue with a lot of these apps I've noticed on our apps, is that you've got the virtual currency next to the real currency, and kids cannot differentiate that at all. And they also had a lawsuit as well for Google. So if this happens to you, according to CNBC, you can contact the merchant, you can dispute the charges with the credit card issuer, or you can file a complaint with the FTC. So if you contact the merchant, you might find the company's refund policy covers situations or allows for refunds or cancellations with a certain time frame. You can also dispute the charges with your credit card issuer. So according to CNBC, it says credit card payments are protected by the Fair Credit Billing Act, which allows you to dispute billing errors, which can include unauthorized charges and temporarily withhold payment while the creditor investigates. It says that there's no guideline in the FCBA that explicitly states that kids' charges are fraud. It's kind of a gray area, but it didn't. If you didn't approve the charges and it didn't add your kid as authorized user, the charges are technically considered unauthorized. And
so setting the authorization to be her child's fingerprint, that's kind of, I wonder if she got the money back. That's kind of fucked, isn't it? Poor V. Like all the stuff he would have lost. Now he's like, I got to start again. I'm just imagining it. The shit that went down. Can you imagine? This would have been huge. Not around the kitchen table.
And then you can also file a complaint with the FTC. If contacting the merchant or your card issuer doesn't work, you can file a complaint with the FTC that allows the FTC to investigate, to take action if necessary. And it also is sad, but it says purchases that may not receive a refund. So sometimes you will not actually get a refund. And they actually said this, that many card issuers allow you to add authorized users who are 16 or younger, granting them permission to charge purchases to your account. Once you give a kid a credit card and you're the primary account holder, you'll be responsible for all charges they make. Now, my son's iPad is hooked up to my Apple account. So my son is actually not authorized to make these payments. He is not added as an authorized user. Now, how do you protect this? Well, they suggest to remove saved payment information. So you should remove the saved payment information. So on my child's iPad, what I did was I removed our wallet information. So there's no credit card at all linked to it. It also says to enable passwords and parental controls. So again, I turned off in-app purchases, and I also put in a separate password for purchases, as well as took off.
Sorry, like my mouth is wide open. Why the fuck wouldn't you do that before you give the iPad to the child? I'm so confused that why would he even have access to Katie's Google wallet or whatever? Is that how he's logged in through her Google to play all the games? Really? Who's the fucking dum-dum? Oh my God. Parents at home watching this will just be like, yeah, that's what most people do. Child safety as well. Also, I doubt that she's got where the iPad just shuts off, because that's it. You've had your time of screen time today. There's pictures where fucking Toad has passed out on the couch and V's just sitting there glued to his mobile. Like, holy shit.
Off the touchpad for payments, and then educating your children. So start teaching children about credit as young as 3, and set guidelines for authorized card use. So what we're doing with my son is just telling him, no, you cannot make purchases. Please do not make purchases. If you run out of your virtual currency, you are done. But by turning off in-app purchases, thankfully, he has not made any since, but he's 8. Kids at any age, once they start figuring out how to go into settings and turn those things off, they can figure this kind of stuff out. So Apple has an option, and Google has an option where you can report charges that you don't recognize. Same with Amazon. So there's ways that you can get your money refunded. Obviously, not all refunds are possible. My question though is, it's the apps that are doing this, not just the product, like not just Apple that's allowing the charges to go through, but it's the apps that are making it really difficult for children to decipher between what is a real purchase versus what is currency, virtual currency. Is there some sort of issue with free-to-play apps that charge money to play more? Is that really an ethical thing for kids, being that these are targeted at?
What are you teaching your child at home? Really, where's your responsibility in this, Katie? Have you taught your child the difference between online money, gameplay money versus real money? Because you were saying like he brought so many of those, well, probably not many if it's 1,000, but yeah, he brought 99.95 bundle, not knowing.
At children that truly don't understand the concept of money. Like a lot of these apps that my son is playing are for kids that are like 5 to 8 years old. How many 5 to 8 year olds have a really good understanding of the concept of money? Quickly racking up $1,000 is so easy when you just have a kid fixated on a game and all they want to do is play, right? So I have no idea if our refund is going to go through, but all they want to do is play. They want to do is play. 5 to 8 years old. How many 5 to 8 year olds have a really good understanding of the concept of money? Quickly racking up $1,000 is so easy when you just have a kid fixated on a game and all they want to do is play, right? So I have no idea if our refund is going to go through, but I wanted to share this with you and let you guys let me know if you've had this happen to you, what you've done to protect your kids, and we can talk more about it later. But has it happened to you? What's your story? Leave me some comments below. Bye, guys.
Oh, bye, Katie. Bye. See you when we see ya. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a little of this and a little of that. Yeah, I was going to say there's a Katie Joy Live video on this, but my version, because I downloaded it, is a little bit blurry, but you can still hear what she says. So I don't know if you want to watch that. You can, well, do what Katie said. Let me know in the comments below. I'm also pointing and doing, I'm not doing a peace finger. Well, I could be. Okay, I am. Okay. Get to the point. What is the point? Now we're just going to go to my Twitter, and I shared this with, well, the Cactus contributors. That's a good week. Before we get there, I'll let you guys know about the Cacti contributors. They're the members of this channel. And yeah, so if you want to join, you should. You can get a Cactus badge and exclusive content. And yeah, you get shout outs every time I go live. And tonight I want to shout out Lisa. It's been a while since I've been able to say a double name. And thank you so much for being a Cacti contributor. You've been here since the beginning, and I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day. And yeah, gosh, I really do hope you're having a good day. And I hope this doesn't spoil it. But, well, Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Also, yeah, the link's in the description if you want to join, or if you're in the chat, it's the pinned comment up the top. But yeah, I shared this with them when I shared this on Twitter. So this is, and I understand like how fucked it is that I have to share pictures of him, and I have covered his face, even though his face is out there. This is where I battle with my morals, because even though his face is out there, I can't have my name attached to an image with his face showing and feel comfortable about that. Even though I don't feel comfortable about this, I had to share it. So, and these are also in chronic, like in order. So this is in 2014 from April to November, and it's all the times on the couch with Toad sitting there. We've got V on the mobile, laying down with Toad on the mobile. My tweet says, it's hard to parent when you're hungover, drunk as fuck, because we read that. Well, I've read the article. I'll link it down below. On the verge of becoming an alcoholic. I should redo it because I don't think I was a good reader back then when I did it. But it lines up with the first 3 to 4 years of his life. They were getting trashed every night. Toad was making mead. They had so much that, yeah. Anyway, that's when the good old babysitter screen time comes in. And look, like if you could see his eyes, like they're like protruding, his like eyelids are just so wide open. And this is obviously in the afternoon, the evening, because Toad's home from work. This is before he lost his job. And look, he's just laying there on the couch. And look at the screen. Look how bright the screen is and how close V's holding it. And look at this. He's asleep. V's just on the phone. Where's Katie? Oh, yeah, she's taking a photo. She's taking a picture of it. There. And this is just 1 year. Like there's ones from 2015. The same amount of pictures. It goes on and on. It's fucked. Yeah, and then I wrote, without a crystal ball, your son has been screen fed for almost a decade. That's the scary thing. He's 10. He's 10 in October. She writes about it. And she writes about being judged by other parents for having to use a phone screen time in order for her son to eat. I've seen children groomed from a very young age using screens. They're so cut off from their surroundings. Anything can be done. I'm not saying that that is what's happening. I'm saying that screen addiction is up there with heroin. It completely knocks out your senses. It's addictive as fuck. There is like groups out there where parents are working together with them, you know, the support groups trying to get their children off technology because it's just complete. That's all they want to do. Katie thinks it's just for eating. Oh my gosh. This is where the parenting, the structure, the routine, everything they've set up is for them. They get agitated at a certain time of night when their son doesn't go to sleep because their addiction, their previous lifestyle. They just give him that rather than him having a tantrum. It's the easy way out. But for who? And also because he's been growing, his brain's been growing, the development, everything. There's studies out there about the brain development of kids that are screen fed. It's fucking shocking, man. And I continue. Do you know the damage you're doing? This is just your husband's lazy ass. And I have way more that you've shared. This is so sad. And then I continue. V has never been given the chance he deserves. What the fuck? Get offline and for fuck's sake, stop ignoring your child. You're supposed to be his parent, guide him, teach him. You both have no patience, yelling, drinking, ignoring him. You're both his biggest disability. And then, I was like, no wonder V can't sleep. It's just fucked. And then I was like, we're addressing this next week. But then next week didn't happen because I got sick. It's making me, it's hard. It's hard to see. Fuck. Let's come back to everyone. But I think I might have to just leave it there. I feel like my emotions are all up in my, actually, let's have a chat with the chat. Let me breathe. Let me have a drink. I feel like I'm going to cry. It's hard to share it because it's undeniable. And even there's a picture of Happy Father's Day. And it's the same thing where V's just sitting there with the mobile. And she's like, this is his favorite time with Daddy in the afternoon when he gets home from work. What? And then even when he's sitting with his grandparents, Katie's parents, they have a phone. Whoever he's sitting with, they've all got phones. It's scary. Yes, pure laziness. And for Katie to attack every fucking one else's parenting. Imagine if one of the Duggar women were doing this. Not that they would, because fuck, they are way more of a mother than Katie would ever be. Anna Duggar is way more of a mother than Katie will ever be. Oh my gosh. And I had hope for Toad. But even the pictures, like, I know, the pictures that are... No wonder people call for checks. Because if I lived in America, I probably would. But... Okay. Oh, yeah, and then we've got the family up here. What's this post? Oh, yeah, that was... How is it up there? This is just me because I'm never on my laptop. That was from the basement video. Oh, I was going to do... this is Katie talking about that. Should we watch this? Fuck it. She's talking about... a mother who has MBP. Oh, okay, let's go here. Oh, okay. Should we? Fuck it, we might as well end on a bad note. End on a bad
Right?
No.
Or what are...
Wait on, let me set it up.
Right? Or what are we advocating when we're showing a video of our child with autism having a meltdown? They might be screaming, they might be crying, and we're videotaping it and putting it online. Who's advocating that?
What's wrong?
So like oversharing about your child's bodily functions is completely inappropriate. I'm not going to be online telling everyone about when my kid took a dump. I'm not going to tell you about
what's going on in the bathroom with my kid.
And then this morning, probably TMI, but he actually had a poop that looked like normal poop.
Are walking in on your child and they're in the shower and you're putting that on Facebook or on YouTube and you have 30,000 people that subscribe to your channel. That is 30,000 strangers that are watching your child in the bath. That is disgusting. That's an invasion of privacy. Say I out good day. Tell people that. That's like literally not advocacy for a child with a disability. That's exploiting the child. That's why she's sharing it. She's not advocating for her children. She's advocating for her ego. She's advocating for her narcissism. You know, how do we stop mothers like this? We stop tuning into them. We start ignoring.
I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so all those videos, like that used to be on her Facebook. All the videos, all the pictures that I've got is all mainly came from Facebook, and she only took them down, the pictures, recently when without any crystal balls. I think it's no, who is it? Oh my God. Someone correct me in the comments. I can't remember who they are, but they were basically on Instagram with all the facts about what Katie has shared and all the pictures and stuff. And she's like, oh, they must have got that from my Facebook. And then she removed them, but they've been up for so long. All the pictures of him in the bath, sitting there in like his nappy. It's the stuff that she has shared is more questionable than what she puts questions on the fucking Duggars and other people. It's fucked. She does it herself. She shared so much of him because the reason he was nonverbal is not due to autism, but due to her, like Katie, this is just my opinion from what I've read and everything, but from Katie focusing, she says herself, for the first 3 years of his life, she focused on trying to get him to eat because he wouldn't eat while his head size increased. Because in my opinion, at 3 months old, when he was put on life support because he had sepsis, from the most hygienic person in the world being his mum, but that's just my opinion. Fuck, there's so many things wrong. Like that he got a brain injury from that, and that's, in my opinion, where the hydrocephalus comes from. And so hydrocephalus is the buildup of brain fluid. And yeah, so his head there's pictures of it so big, like how can you not notice that? But that would also tie into why he couldn't eat properly. And yeah, and it says that hydrocephalus can be left for maximum 3 years because, yeah, it just basically gives the child brain damage and they die. And he was diagnosed at 3 years. So, yeah. And, yeah, people say that he was like there's that article out there where she talks about that he was misdiagnosed with autism, but having hydrocephalus, like pretty sure that he'd have some kind of autistic traits just because, yeah, and also being born premature and spina bifida and all that. So he might not have, you know, I don't know how the diagnosis, everything goes, but might not have it fully, but he has like parts of it. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's just my opinion, and it's a big opinion, and maybe I'll edit it out. I've edited it out of so many videos of mine, just from what I've read. And Katie's articles say a lot. She says more than what she thinks. And it's stuff that should have been said to a therapist. I don't know why no one in her family got her help, got her to go to see a psychologist when he was first diagnosed, because all her articles is just her like screaming out for help and she's not getting anywhere. That's why it's all about like her, how it's impacted her. She's not even thinking about V. But yeah, that was so easy for her to exploit him. And he was like nonverbal and she's videotaping it. Like the fucking, like the way he looks at her, she's been taking photos of him and filming him since his birth. The way he looks at her in some of them is like, oh, I can't believe you're taking another photo of this. Like, yeah. There's a picture of him recovering from the surgery after having the shunt. So he's like 4 years old and he just got the shunt put in for the hydrocephalus. And he's got the big netting all over his head. And he's got tears falling. And she took a photo of that and shared it. And on Facebook, it's like, oh, we're at the hospital. He's just had shunt put in and all this. Your child is crying in pain with netting and he's just had surgery and you're there taking a fucking photo. And it's almost like he has to tune that out because what kind of mother would share that? Most of the photos, there's a lot where he's in pain and it scares me, especially with last night's video that I shared. Why the fuck won't she get rid of those dogs? But then someone in the comments said without that, like she'd have no, like Frida gives her the love she wants, like the companionship, the over, oh, wow. They're in a really bad relationship. Okay, this really fucked me. I've gone too far. I've said too much. I'll probably get in trouble. She better not dox me. God, man, I can't believe her with the whole the doxing, the amount of shit. Oh my God, when are they going to remove her? When the hell are they going to remove her from social media, every fucking platform? She's doing so much damage. Even now, more. Because she's going through the duggars and just making up shit. Because there's no more that needs to be said. Just give it a fucking break. She won't be able to move on. What other cult is there? Oh, the one that happened when she was born. Because in Katie's baby book, her mum put a news story of the Jonestown massacre because it happened the week Katie was born. She was born to report on cults. Fucking born to be a cult leader, in my opinion. Anyway, I think I've said enough. I don't know what to say. It's just fucked. But I'm going to continue. There's a few more videos with screen time that I want to bring up just because might go into the studies with how they the similarities between the heroin addiction and screen time addiction. But it's sad. It's so fucking sad, especially because he's turning 10. I forget that he's turning 10 because I'm so focused in Katie's past that I'm still like focused on his like development. And to me, like I feel like he's still 5, but he's 10. Yeah. Right? Who would ever think about reaching for their phone at a time like that? And that's the thing. She's never sitting down. Like there's never even a selfie of her and Toad and her son. Like it's always just her from afar on another couch in a drinking chair, taking a photo of them. It's very, the more you think about it, the more fucked up it becomes. And yeah. But yes, thanks everyone for tuning in. I think that I'm going to have to do a mindfulness video or something because I feel mental health on our side of the fence is very important, because Katie fucks with my mental health a lot and she drains me, but I feel like my voice is important in a way. So I need to just keep away from present day Katie, where she's fucking evil, and just stay in the back carriages. And I like her past, but yeah. What was I going to say? God, she's fucking evil. Oh, there was another. Should I chuck it in here, or are we done? Are we done for the day? I might do another little video on it. But yeah, this is other one. There's so many. Ah, Alberta and Stella. Do you know the lamb chop song? I know, is that like, that's what you are saying basically, but do you know that that's the lamb chop song? Lamb chop sing along. Lamb chops. I've spoken about them before. They're like a puppet, a sock puppet. Oh yes. I'm so glad you. I don't know if anyone else has. You are so missing out. You should look it up. But anyway, and then it will get stuck in your head and the song just goes on and on, my friend. Okay, let's bring it back to my cookie. But thanks so much for tuning in. And although I know I could have done better because I'm still unwell, but I'm glad we addressed this. And yeah, I don't know. I'm lost for words. She's fucking fucked my brain. This happens every time. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Come join us, Cactus. I'm probably just going to go through all the Katie Joy live videos eventually. There's a lot of them, or the IGs. I've got to start somewhere and just keep going. But at the moment, I want to focus on screen time. And oh, Cactus high five. Oh, Captain. Oh, you know lamb chops. It's good. It's good. It's a good feeling when other people know what I'm talking about. We used to sing it at school and just sing it all recess, the same song, because it just kept going on and on. But then lamb chops died. Didn't it? Didn't the dog attack the puppet or something? Or I got mixed up. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care. And yeah, I might do a live on the weekend because I feel like I need to catch up. Plus, yeah, but we'll see what happens. Have a good day, guys. I'll catch you in the next live.